Not every strong woman is healed. Some are just surviving. Behind the smiles, behind the productivity, and behind the responsibilities that we are carrying, there is a woman who is still carrying wounds no one sees, unspoken disappointments, quiet identity loss. And maybe tonight, we begin healing her. Assalamualaikum and welcome back to Face Sorry Notes. For this episode, we will be talking about something that is deeply personal, healing the woman within. And healing begins when we stop pretending everything is fine. And today, bersama Fahri di studio, kita bersama-sama dengan Sharifah Nadirah, the author, speaker, researcher, optometrist dan juga mental health first aider. Assalamualaikum, Nad.
Salam.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Alhamdulillah.
Thank you for having me.
Sama-sama. I'm so happy to have you around this episode. Mungkin Sharifah Nadirah boleh perkenalkan sedikit tentang diri sendiri, few words before kita mulakan.
I'm Sharifah Nadirah, and I love to write. Love to write books and also do researches, writing academic papers, and also a locum optometrist, as well as a person who is highly passionate on mental health awareness and also advocacy. So mainly, what drives me towards the work that I'm doing, we can see that it's integrated and also a multidisciplinary approach, which is to inspire communities, especially women,
Yes.
to become much more better than they were before, to grow, to heal, and also to be a better version of themselves.
Yes, and she is the person behind SN Rise.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
Actually, it was just a page to write and also to express myself, because it all started when I was battling and also struggling with my mental health problems. I was diagnosed with anxiety disorder and also MDD. And then I needed a place, I needed a space
Yes.
to share my stories, to let out, to make the wounds less hurtful, I would say. So words had become a way to channel the pain,
Yeah.
because some people, they choose to talk a lot, read, or even listen to music. But what works for me is writing, and to write is to actually heal the inner child of me. And also from there, I started the SN Writes
Right.
page. But it was actually a place where I want to write, but somehow along the way, people felt related,
Yes,
and the words,
exactly.
the words somehow resonate with them.
Very
And
soothing. The
thank you for
emotions,
that.
Yeah.
So I do feel happy and also less lonely, knowing that there are also people out there who felt the same. And in the long run, I could see that writing can actually be the bridge that connect us with those who share the same pain
Yeah.
journey.
Subhanallah. Cara yang berbeza untuk kita expresskan whatever that sink in our thoughts and also heart. But Alhamdulillah, ini adalah channel-channel yang memang very resonating to each other. And to have that space in healing our wounds, Masya Allah, sangat-sangat membantu for our daily life. Okay, Nad, what does true healing actually mean for a woman? Is it forgetting the pain or better we understanding it?
Yeah, when we talk about pain, it is highly related to our past wounds, and also how we manage the emotions
Yes.
that are overflowing, overwhelming, because sometimes we don't really recognize these emotions that we have inside of us. And for me, to heal is to actually feel,
Yep.
to experience what you're feeling at that moment, regardless of it's comfortable or not. Because I'm not the kind of person who will label emotions as positive or negative, because I believe Allah, He had gifted every mankind with emotions, blessed emotions, I would say, because without these emotions, we will not be able to function with empathy, with even humanity. So, while seeing how people nowadays view difficult emotions as something that hold them back, I beg to differ. Maybe I was at that phase, but I could see that these emotions actually enrich the wisdom inside of us. You know, for example, you're feeling happy. For example, you're feeling sad,
Yeah.
disappointment, grief. You do feel the pain at that moment, and you need to experience that so you can extract the pearls of wisdom, the sage, I would say, the things that you will learn, the lessons, so you will grow to become much more human. And imagine if what you feel is only happiness and also joy. I don't think you will really embrace being
A
human as a
yeah.
whole.
Yeah, betul. Wholeheartedly, we need to face all those
Yeah,
challenges to rebuild ourselves, to
True, true,
rerouting our lives so that
True.
we can be a better versions of ourselves. Subhanallah. But why do you think many strong women delay healing? Despite of understand and accept those grieving or disappointments, why do we strong women delay healing? Adakah sebab terlalu sibuk atau kerana rasa we don't deserve this resting and healing?
I love that question because it really relates a lot with me.
Subhanallah.
There was a time in my life where I felt that the pain, the feeling of hurtfulness and also disappointment does not need attention. You just need to just brush it off,
Yeah.
move on. It's not important. It will hold you back. It will just stop you from chasing your dream. I thought the pain will actually become a source of
Yeah.
negativity. I mean, before mental health awareness, there was this
Stigma.
yes, stigma, and also quote saying that you have, heads up, you have to forget this is not important.
Yeah.
You have to be much more focused, but you can't focus when you're delaying the healing
Correct,
itself, right? So what I did, I'm the kind of type which is I recognize myself that I am highly functioning, and somehow there was a moment it came from anxiety, I
Yep.
would say. So I thought that by doing more, it will actually eliminate my pain, but somehow it becomes a major rebound,
Subhanallah.
So at one moment, the pain that was actually inside of you, it manifests. So it affects my whole body.
Yeah.
I
Your
was
nervous system.
it was a breakdown. I was warded,
Yeah.
and I need to also consume medications
Medication.
that left you with withdrawal effects. It was not a good, not I would say not a, yes, it's not a good journey, but I would say that it also had taught me that ignoring your pain, it can actually hurt you a lot, the aftermath. So back to your question, why? Fear.
Yeah.
Fear is actually our greatest enemy
I
because
couldn't agree more on that.
because not everyone knows actually how important it is to address these emotions that we have inside of us. Because when we come to the previous generation, I'm not gonna compare actually, but the previous generation had taught us to succumb it,
Yeah.
don't talk about it,
Telan je masalah
Yeah,
tu,
yeah.
hadap je.
bottle it up,
Yeah,
and
bottling
then
up.
wait for the time comes, and then suddenly it becomes a time bomb, and it affects you wholly. It breaks you in so many levels. So fear, it's the fear and what we had grow from, the culture
The
that
culture.
we are in, toxic masculinity. So men should not talk about their feelings. Women should just stay silent.
Yeah,
That is
standing still.
Yes, and just be submissive as you are. And that is not how we are. You imagine during the golden age of Islam,
Yeah,
that is not how the Prophet had taught Aisha and also Shifa, Khadija, entrepreneur. I mean, there are so many women, mothers of believers, and Fatima Al-Fihri. They never tell us to not feel, to not do things. especially Aisha. I love how can I relate is that Aisha, she loves to express herself, but she knows the integrity. She knows the limitations. But when you talk about women not needing to talk about how you feel, I think that is a big lie, because Aisha, she talks about how she feel when she is jealous. She said it.
Yeah.
She
Be
expressed.
vulnerable of
Yeah,
it.
she expressed herself. So there are a lot of things that are being misinterpreted by our own culture. So why is it delayed? Because our own culture, because the fear that we had grow with. And that is the first one. And the second one is not seeing it as something important. Not seeing is that important equals to not having knowledge to
Yeah.
manage it, to address it, while we know, especially women, when we're not tuning in properly with how we feel, it really affects us and also the people around us. And when women is not focusing on how to heal from the inner
Inside, yeah.
inside, then it will actually affect the people outside, because
Correct.
we are nurturers, healers, we are gifted to feel more in terms of emotions.
Do not ignoring your feelings, and do not suppress also your
Yeah,
feelings,
true.
because the moment you start to suppress your feelings and not give yourself a space to heal,
Yeah, true.
that is the moment you will start to slowly breaking down and sampai masuk hospital.
True.
Yeah, it should shattered. Maybe kita tak nampak benda tu tau nak, tapi actually it's happening, it's dying slowly inside. Let's just put aside all the traditions thing, all the things yang woman kena go through as a woman sekarang, especially as an adult, as a mother yourself, mesti macam ada masalah je, face it,
Yes.
embrace the challenges, but you are actually not empowering yourself from the inside, that you should give a space to yourself to heal the wound slowly. But how does identity loss affect a woman's mental health? How can she reconnect with herself again without feeling selfish?
Talking about a woman losing herself, am I right?
Yeah.
I may not be at that stage of motherhood, but I do know a bit about the transitioning process before marriage and after marriage. Before marriage, you were in your youthful years.
Yeah.
Not saying that we're that old, but but we do have
Our
we
life transition
Yeah.
phase of life.
True. So I bet we had grown during that phase, knowing what we love, what we
Want.
and also our dreams, ambition, goals
Desire.
are all there. So, and we can pursue them without having to think about our responsibilities that we have at home. But the exploration of entering the new phase
Yeah.
of marriage is also a phase that can teach you a lot, I would say. So before marriage, that I could share a story where there was a person that I know. She, during her youthful years, during her university years, she was active. She did a lot of things. She represent this and that. But somehow along the way, after marriage, she suddenly slowed down.
Yeah, shutting down
Yes,
from everything.
True, especially after having children. But I'm not gonna say that marriage is the problem. No, but it is actually a process to dive deeper inside ourselves. It is a phase where we should discover more of ourselves. Maybe before marriage, this is only the things that we had found. But kun fayakun, Allah had created more for you after marriage. It's just a journey, like how you found so many things that you love to do before marriage. Maybe the after marriage life is
It's
maybe
better.
it can become better, and also it's a new journey that you have to see. That is how I see it, because
But it's a good perspective.
yes, it's a good perspective. The same thing a story of mine too. During the early marriage was also a struggle for me. I suddenly, that is where the breakdown happened, and
Yeah.
I thought that I will never find myself again because during the early years, during my early 20s, what I did was I would say that I am an ambitious person, and it's really hard.
Just go all out for
Yeah,
everything you
yeah.
want.
And it's really difficult for me to not do what I love. So after marriage, somehow I felt that people are start telling me that you have a husband, so you need to to sort out your priorities.
Yeah.
So that was actually difficult for me because I was struggling, and also at the same time I was also going through my anxiety
Yeah,
issues.
anxiety issues.
So it was actually a dark phase, I would say. I'm not gonna say marriage itself had put me.
Is that for the 3 years early marriage?
Oh no, it's
The first year.
the first and two, I would say. The first and
The
two.
first and the second
Yes,
one.
you know.
It's always the toughest one.
Yes, yes, true, funny. So, but those are the years where I thought, okay, where am I now?
Yeah, it's
Where am I
totally
now?
life transitioning
True,
where you have to
betul.
squeeze in here, you
Yes.
have to
Fulfill it here,
fulfill the responsibilities,
expectations semua,
but you want to soar high, but you have
Yes,
to
yes.
lean
Baik
on
tadi.
a while.
Betul, true. So during that time too, I was lost actually. Lost, even I tried to explore here and there.
Masya Allah, we are not alone.
Memang trying to explore
A new
entrepreneurship.
thing.
Yeah. Macam menulis, and then writing books. Like I tried a lot of to just
Express your
yes,
feelings.
yes, and then just to find myself again. Okay, so who is the new me? Who is the new me? But that is the thing about exploring. Until now, I keep using the word exploring myself because it's never something that I
It's
want to
never
stop.
ending story.
Yeah.
It's never ending journey as a woman wholly.
Yeah, true.
We always like, okay, this 20 to 30 years old is this phase. Bila kita berpindah ke 30 ke 40 tahun, it's another phase that we have to explore. And this thing Kanat, kalau kita tak cari, kita takkan jumpa.
True, betul. The seeking process is precious.
Subhanallah.
They're even precious than gems and all the treasures of the world actually to find. Because for me, I'm not a person who is actually after, possessions. I would say like cars or houses. I'm more
The worldly
yeah,
desires.
the material things.
The material things.
But what I love is what I love. What I love, but the things like owning cars, or I'm not into that. But what I'm really into is passion, dreams, and ambition, and also values. Because at the end of the day, God will actually ask what is the impact that you had done.
Ya, betul.
What is the knowledge?
We are walking to the same direction. Subhanallah. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
That's why the topic today is healing the woman within. Subhanallah. And sometimes women overreact, but sebenarnya they are just triggered.
Yeah.
How can a woman identify her emotional triggers and start responding instead of reacting? This is the hardest process. But as we go through, definitely we will know how to handle and not to react things easily.
I always react. The way I react was always really fast compared that, taking a pause, think back, reflect.
Mashallah.
Yes. So, and I'm not really good with patience too. So I would say I could understand. And like I said earlier, women, they are emotional. The term emotion is what I would say that they feel more. They're much more highly sensitive towards feelings because that's why they can.
Emotionally driven.
Yeah, emotionally attuned. That's why they can care more. They can nurture more. They can foster more because they have that advantage. They have that privilege. And when you talk about how we could respond more compared to react, I want to relate with a story of Aisha radiallah during the incident of IFK. That story of Aisha is always closely relatable because during that time when the slander happened, the fitna happened, the rumors had gone out of hand, she was in pain.
Yeah.
She was heartbroken.
Amazingly in pain, subhanallah.
Yeah. And imagine nobody actually really believed her.
Yeah, really
Yeah,
believe trust in her.
true. She was alone. And, you know, one thing that I highly respect was that she did not even care about wanting to prove herself to
Betul.
people, not even wanting to react to,
To prove herself.
yes, and also making an effort to tell people that I'm right, I'm right. No, she didn't even bother with that, because what she cared the most was how Allah see her, was
Yeah.
how Allah, knowing the truth that one day the real thing will be revealed.
Betul.
So, and during that time also, she did not also succumb herself. She expressed herself. She did say that the moment that she was in pain, she did said this phrase, which is, her lungs felt like it was splitting, splitting open.
Masya
So
Allah.
this phrase, there is this, and Arab, I couldn't remember the Arab translation, but the English is, my lungs split open. And that actually shows how painful she was, and that she stay silent.
Yep.
She
Isolate herself.
she did isolate and also distant, but it is not out of wanting to run
Yeah,
away,
yeah.
but she took a moment just to grow closer to God,
Betul.
to seek clarity, and to become much more balanced
Yeah.
and attuned to submit to Allah. Yeah, just I wanna to summarize. First, she started to strengthen her spiritual aspect, and then on the emotional level, she did not suppress herself. She expressed, and even when her mother and parents, even the Prophet came, what she said, she patient is much more befitting for her.
Yeah, betul.
She remembered the story of Nabi Yaqub.
Nabi Yaqub
Yes.
alaihissalam.
That was, for me, it was a great inspiration where she
Subhanallah.
she highlighted the spiritual aspect, the emotion, and there are a lot of things to talk about Aisha where I respect, but even in terms of this, she didn't hold back. She became fully human, even though she was the wife of the Prophet, showing that the Prophet and also the Sahabiyas, they were all human. They live as human,
Yep.
and that is the most inspiring part when it comes to reading Sirah, the wisdom.
Allah. The wisdom that is very eye-opening to many of us. And when we took this history kan, dia sangat menghidupkan jiwa,
True.
menumbuhkan lagi hati dengan lebih tenang dan damai. And I can see Sayyidatina Aisyah how she devote herself to Allah SWT instead of just reacting to prove herself that she is not wrong. I am right. I am not wrong. But instead of doing that, responding to that situation, she let herself in peace moments and devote herself to Allah SWT. That's how we should do. Kan? The first moment yang you kena lalui ujian yang Allah beri, you just relax, breathe in, breathe out, sit in your thoughts and back to Allah SWT, responding in Allah's ways, not in our ways.
True, and if I could add, this is not to actually dismiss the emotions that we feel. Sebab, like I said before, Aisha embraced her emotion, but it is, as Muslim, that is how we respond to usually when we are in calamity. We seek God back, and at the same time we do embrace our emotion, because in our history of Muslim, there was never so-called dismiss, don't embrace, because what's inside is also important as what's outside.
What's inside, we need to empowering it, so that we can live our life dengan lebih tenang. Subhanallah. So that kita tak ada rasa macam those unhealthy feels. As you are going to move forward, kalau dalam ni masih tak clear, so how can you move forward easily, peacefully? Susah nak. Kita kena, nak redha tu susah, tapi you kena ada first step. by forgiving, by accepting, by trying to understand, by back to Allah, so that you can move forward dengan lebih redha, insya-Allah.
It's under the purification of the soul, kan? We purify ourselves first.
Yeah, purifying our soul. Some women may feel guilty for struggling mentally because they think iman tak cukup kuat. I suka topik ni. It's about faith. Somehow orang yang beriman juga diuji mentally.
Betul.
Mentally, emotionally, physically. What would you say to a woman who feels ashamed of her anxiety or sadness?
When we talk about that, kan, early before, I did relate this with our culture sebenarnya. So, because memang usually in our culture, talking about our feelings, memang at one point it becomes a disgrace, you know.
For some people.
Yes, it becomes why do you need to talk about benda-benda yang personal and private?
Yeah.
You know, just keep it in. It's not important pun nak talk. Just, you know, wipe it off je. It will
Simpan dalam hati, kan?
lama-lama akan hilang juga. But sebenarnya tak. Dia memang tersimpan dalam hati until forever.
Until even you are 60 years old.
True, and that's the trauma lah. The trauma that we have, the scar yang takkan hilang. So when Fari talk about iman and also the emotions, the difficult emotions yang we feel, kan. Nabi dulu, this is what I read because I love history and I love to read the seerah.
And I love listening to your story.
No, but I would say lah, there was a dark phase in my life where I really want to discover really betul ke does Islam really against mental health problems atau these emotions yang difficult. But when we go back, we can see that how Nabi Yaqub until his eyes turn white, you know. That if you know Dr. Rania Awad, I love to listen to her how she talks about Nabi Yaqub phases. Nabi Yaqub when he lost his son, it's not if people expect Nabi so should nangis biasa-biasa then dah lah, you know, the wisdom of Allah, how Allah shows that Nabi is also human, and memang dia sedih sangat because he knows Yaqub has dia punya it's special to him because special
to
yes
him.
because he's also going to be a prophet too, you know, the dream that he had, and along that first he's being betrayed by dia punya anak siblings, kan. And also when we look at Nabi Yusuf pun, it's another level of pain juga, you know, the betrayal that he gone through, the many level of betrayal, which is with his brothers, and then with Zulaika. And then with the community. So, and that's also how it inspired me to write the book, the latest book. So talking about betrayal, talking about the immense pain, and also talking about Prophet Muhammad punya face, where the year of grief, the year of sadness, where he lost his uncle. And then during Taif, and then lost Khadijah, and then memang there was a year where he was so sad, memang he isolate himself. So just trying to share things where their sadness is not sadness yang biasa-biasa. It is written.
They're very heartbroken.
Yes, true. So just want to say that it was really sad for them, and it was not easy for them, but did Allah said just move on ke apa? No, but how did Allah menyantuni mereka in the Quran, you know. Nak cakap siapa je yang bagi this kind of loss of not having to feel what you feel, you know. Siapa yang start cakap iman rendah kalau you stress, kalau you feel pain. So who define us as human actually? Who are you, kan? So bila kita go back to history, that's why it's really important to read about our religion, to read about our culture, to know the differences, and to know the words of Allah betul-betul the meaning tu.
Yeah.
So kalau Fari tanya saya, iman tu rendah ke kalau kita sakit atau we are struggling and all? It's not, because it's how Dr. Rania had also cakap, our sejarah ni, especially in terms of mental illness ni, it started with Al-Balkhi, where he founded about OCD, a scholar, Islamic scholar, and then after that how Bimaristan was found, how Bimaristan was found. So Bimaristan is a psychiatry center and also a healing center. Dalam dia ada psychiatry center, and they use many sorts of therapeutic punya things.
Wow,
For example, water therapy, healing, and then music therapy. So there are a lot of many kind of therapy. Quran, baca Quran. So nak cakap, kalau dulu pun ada this Bimaristan in the golden age of Islam, and also the Prophet also gone through a lot, and also dalam Quran sendiri pun how Allah menyantuni mereka semua ni, dan sejarah Islam pun dah tunjuk. So how can kita cakap it affects iman, melainkan there are some kind of beliefs, misinterpretations yang which have their own importance, and not misinterpret the verses of the Quran itself. If you ask me, Islam is forever the truth. So susah lah kalau nak go against the truth. Itulah.
Tapi daripada sejarah Islam ni juga, it's redefining our values.
True.
Reaccepting ourselves again and again, because kita manusia bukan sekadar iman yang diuji, tetapi diri kita dalam kita mencari our own self value, subhanallah, so that we can learn and spread the kindness to everyone else. Kalau kita tak go through all this, how can we help people surround us? So it's always start within us. That's how a woman heal ourselves, subhanallah.
Our story, it becomes a survival guide for women out there.
Yeah, betul.
That's how beautiful it is, like in sharing stories, like how Fari
sharing a heart and stories today with Sharifah Nadirah. Alhamdulillah, we are so happy to have her here in the studio. Okay, Anand, is healing possible without forgiveness, and how does a woman forgive herself even when they hurt and just want to take a break?
Forgiveness, it's really it's not easy for most people, and for me to give a timeline for a sister out there, where for example, it has been 3 years. I think you should forgive her or him already, but life is not that linear. There are ups and downs, and healing for each one of us, the timeline, the period is different. So maybe healing for us is different from her. So each and one of us, we heal in different ways, different journeys, different paths, different roads, different ways. So what makes us unique is how different we grow, how different we become, and how different we transform ourselves. So so what was the question again tadi, Farid?
How does a woman can forgive herself when they hurt, and just want to take a break sekejap, jalan-jalan pergi Jakarta maybe.
Balik Jakarta.
Allowing ourselves to immerse and just be ourselves again.
So like tadi, first we don't have to set a timeline point. And also our emotions, what we feel, they're all valid actually. Emotions, what we feel are valid, regardless of how others perceive it. But what we're going through, what had happened, it's between, for example, with a sister and a sister, a brother and a sister. So it doesn't actually, the experience itself, we don't share the experience yang sama. So our capability, our capacity to move through that that heaviness, I would say, is different. But we also have to know that we will reach a point where the heaviness can be
Lift up.
overwhelming, I would say. So somehow at one point we want to seek peace. We want to seek peace. We want to unburden ourselves, we want to feel free again, liberated. Because the longer the grudge is sitting inside of us, it will become difficult for us to move on.
Yeah.
So we also have to explore ways, and also to know how to become, to heal and to be much more better than who we were before, until we reach forgiveness itself. I'm not gonna say one day you will forgive, because I know how really hard it
Yeah.
is to forgive. So when people said it's easy to forgive, it's hard to forget. For me,
That's a phrase like just forgive and forgo everything.
yeah. But forgiveness is not. We can
Yeah.
lip service, saying forgiveness, but inside of our heart, is it really forgiving?
Yeah, it's
So
going to take more time than you will
yes,
ever think.
yeah. So the real sincerity and honesty, only Allah knows that. But as long as we know, how we can allow ourselves to understand ourselves, to be kind to ourselves, inshallah, the path which be much more bearable. And knowing that as Muslim, forgiving is rewarding, I would
Yeah,
say.
the most rewarding and the most beautiful thing
Yeah.
that will ever happen in your life, subhanallah. Tapi Fania ada belajar satu benda di mana bila kita ni cuba belajar untuk memahami dan mengikhlaskan apa sahaja yang datang dalam kehidupan kita in a form of hurts, in a form of pain yang kita tak pernah jangka, the moment we can just letting it all go, accepting and balikkan perasaan ni tadi pada Allah SWT, you will heal a lot. Subhanallah, you akan sembuh dengan sendirinya.
Betul.
Sebab perasaan kita ni tadi, it's not ours. And
Betul.
whatever that happened during that life is also not ours. Kita serahkan balik. That is a love that returns, subhanallah, and you will heal, insyaAllah. It's going to take time. Tapi kalau kita boleh tahu that is not real and this is real, kita boleh tahu perbezaan ni and kita balikkan sandaran dia pada yang mencipta perasaan tu tadi, insyaAllah you will feel better and better. In just short period of time. Sebab, Nat, for me, sampai bila kita nak menyakiti diri sendiri?
True.
Until when? You must stop right here to help yourself. By forgiving, you can help yourself. By forgiving, you can find a new space for yourself.
True. So the initial phase is towards forgiveness. The goal is forgiveness, but along the way, you don't have to be so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Just embrace the process, embrace the emotions, embrace the feelings,
Yeah.
embrace the ups and downs along the way until you reach forgiveness with an open heart. Yeah.
And Nat, surprisingly, Allah ni baik ni, Allah SWT, dia akan bagi kita ada satu rasa macam, oh, I am okay now. I can forgive her. It's not that hard. Dia akan ada that sense of feeling, that gut feelings yang Allah akan berikan, Allah akan kurniakan pada hati ni untuk kita just move forward and live our life freely again.
True. And also being occupied with things yang much more better than hurting ourselves, getting busy, doing things that we love, doing things that invites Allah's blessings,
Helping other people.
True.
Yeah.
then focusing on the pain itself. So inshallah, along the way, we can also find the room to forgive.
Yeah, find that room to heal, find that space to live a new life, to rebuild our life again. For someone who feels overwhelmed right now, what are 3 small steps that she can take to begin healing safely and realistically?
Okay, I can give these tips, but know that I find it so struggling to apply them.
But you have tried it
Yeah.
and you have passed that.
It worked.
Yeah,
It worked. I would say it worked with the help of my.
Okay, let's listen to this.
Okay, first, I think it's really important to have that one person who believes in you. A support system, a person.
Allah, it's totally true. The first one I dah betul lah. It's workable, doable
If you, Puan Anita, the founder of Miasa, she did said, even though that one person you just need that one person who would believe in you from the beginning until the end, because we are humans, we are complex beings, and we are not isolated units.
Yeah.
You know, we are socialized beings. So I'm also, advising myself. So I would say that it's really important to at least have that one person with you for you to journey through this path. Okay.
Yeah.
And the second one is the purpose, what makes life more meaningful is when you have a purpose, a
Mashallah.
divine purpose, a sacred purpose, which is for us Muslim, is living life for Allah, in anything that we do, and our dreams, our goals, everything, they need to be aligned with Allah, including our intentions. So when everything is smoothly aligned with Allah, inshallah, your heart will be much more at ease. So in finding the purpose, meaning, it will fulfill you, and it will actually help you to seek a balance.
Yeah, along the way, you will
True.
get that balance.
True. And balance is indeed important for us as humans because it grounds us.
Yeah.
It grounds us strongly, especially what help us to balance is faith, is Islam, is Iman. It really strengthens us to the core. And also the third one is I would say that it's to find a community. To find a
Mashallah.
community, even though it's not easy,
Yeah.
even though you have to find community after community, keep going.
Yeah,
Keep going. Because one day, inshallah, when Allah allows it, you will find your people. You will
Yeah.
feel belong. You will feel much more you know. You don't,
Comfortable.
yeah, you don't have to be someone else just to fit in, but you can be authentically yourself in blending in. And even though how hard it is, I pray to Allah that one day you will find your people,
Allahumma.
inshallah.
Find your people, your community, your circle that can help you keep grounding yourself and just be who you are. Subhanallah. Those 3 small steps is actually not a small step. Yeah. It's a big step towards your life dreams. Yeah, I love the first one, the second one, the third one. The second one is very important because as we are living in this dunya, we must know what is our life direction.
True.
And to go to that life direction, we must have our intentionally purpose. Purpose ni kena ambil tahu. Seek knowledge and you must know your purpose. Sebab kalau tak ada purpose ni Nat, you will always sway here and
True.
there.
Stray.
Subhanallah. As challenges hits you, you will just here. You will start here and you cannot move
Shaken.
forward. You will shaken. You will internally in pain for the longest time you will ever know. Tapi with that purpose, subhanallah, you will heal. You will heal time by time and get that balanced life again. Okay, for the woman listening tonight who feels broken, behind in life, FOMO, or emotionally exhausted with the same routine every day, what truth do you want her to hold on to?
Talking about FOMO, and also the question is a place where I had been, and during that phase, my husband was always there, and my husband has become the greatest inspiration, and never he always believed in me and how I felt inspired by that, and also wanting the sisters to know is that everyone is taken and you are not. So be who you truly are, seek your values, and know that how much we want to be like another person, or how much we want to live like other people, still is not the same as how Allah,
expect.
as how Allah had written for us. The story that we are living right now is what our Lord had written to us, and there is nothing much more beautiful than living the story that Allah has written for
Yeah.
us. So the struggles are real, but inshallah, with Allah's help, dua, we will pull it through.
Yeah, as much as we want to live our life that we desire, tapi sebenarnya living the life story that Allah created for us is much more beautiful. Subhanallah. And that is the truth. Mungkin kata-kata akhir yang nak boleh kongsikan pada semua pendengar Face Story Notes podcast.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Fari, once again for having me. Okay. You know, life itself is a gift, and life itself is also short.
Yeah.
And life in this dunya is temporary, but make most of it for the sake of God, because this is what you will sow and harvest in the afterlife, inshallah.
MasyaAllah. Short but so meaningful. Thank you so much juga pada Sharifah Nadirah. We are so honored again to have you here, and I hope this relationship, this ukhuwah will never end here. We will go through and embarking a new journey together as we are growing old together. Alhamdulillah. As we close tonight, Allah remind us in the Surah Ar-Rum ayat 21, Allah speaks of sakinah, tranquility. Sakinah doesn't just exist in marriage, it must exist within ourselves too. May we not only empower women to rise, but to rise healed, grounded, connected to Allah, connected to ourselves again. And this is Face Story Note. Until next time, insyaAllah. Assalamualaikum. Alhamdulillahilladzi bi ni'matihi tatimmus salihat.